Morning. This is Nita and Miss Panda with the Timepiece Garden. And I'm not working in the camp today, which is awesome, you know. I got to sleep in a little. Actually, I didn't. I got up and had breakfast and then went and took another nap. Didn't actually sleep in. Having said that, I'm going to do a whole bunch of little stuff. I've got some blossom end rot. I actually lost 2 of my winter squashes for end rot. So, again, I know it's calcium deficient, and I know I put them in an area that I have not prepped the last couple of years. So we're going to take care of that. Same thing, I got some bricks I got to move from back over here to back there. And to put them where I need them, I'm going to have to do some trimming. So I got the trimmer battery, because I don't need the DR, it's the trimmer. It's a whole bunch of little stuff. And the goal is, walk back to do one thing, but take another thing with you, so I'm not making 12 trips. I'm not coming back up here to get the trimmer when I'm done with the rot. It's just, like I said, today's video is going to be hodgepodge. You're going to be like, where is she? I'm everywhere today. All the little stuff. That's the goal anyway. So, talk to you in a few. Alright, here's what I mean by little stuff. I got the 2 bricks way over there. That I want to use to put here to support this pipe, because that's right there at the joint, and the way it lays, it'll be the weakest spot that'll pop if it doesn't get supported. So I want to put the bricks here, kind of work the ground level so the bricks set level and will support the joint appropriately. It's the only one of the joints that I hadn't done. So to work back here, though, I need to go ahead and trim some of the grass and weeds and stuff down, just so I can work and not be like, oh, what's crawling on me? Because nothing's crawling on me. Once I get this trimmed back, does that make sense? Then I can go take my little cart and go over there and put the bricks in the cart so I can bring it all back over here at the same time. When I do that, I will bring the stop rot for the melons down there, and we'll talk about that when I get in there. Does that make sense? It's kind of going to be just a back and a forth day. But I don't want to have to walk the property 500 times. So when I bring the bricks back, I need to bring the next task back. And just until I'm done. That way I'm not walking the property, 9 or 10 times to get a bunch of stuff done. Or not. So, that's the plan. Talk to you in a few. Area's clear. Panda approved. That's the back side of my kindling rack. That's where the 2 bricks were right here on that side. Long term, because I have all this extra reclaimed tin. Some very large pieces, like my kindling rack. You can see it's starting to lean. Because again, this is just brain hurts. Reclaimed wood, stuff I get from Home Depot, whatever. It's good, but I've been here for 3 years. This has been here for 3 years. None of this wood is rotten, but you can tell that it's leaning because it's not made to support the amount of kindling that I put here. So what I'd like to do is, one, get it covered in tin, kind of make it like an arch or a loop. I've got 4 T-posts there to be able to hook it on, and then, larger stuff across the bottom, and then smaller stuff instead of next to it, do a second level across the top. Just one, it's less bending over for me, and it's only one rack instead of a rack up here and then a rack behind. So, anyway, those 2 bricks that are now in the cart will not be needed over here, and they're going to become the supports for the overflow off of the new tank. And it's just one of those little things that I haven't done yet, and I'm doing it today. Talk to you in a few. And this is what I mean by not making 2 trips. Part of what I'm going to do today is moving some more of these logs and go ahead and finish lining the swell. Don't have wood chips, haven't gone to go get them, but I can put the logs in place. But it is also overgrown. So while I have the weed eater out, and I have to walk past here with the bricks, knock this down. Does that make sense? It's still in the shade, it's still nice and cool. Knock all this tall grass down, the weeds down. Does that make sense? Go finish with the bricks. And then I can come back and move logs. That's what I mean by not walking 27 places. If I pass it, take 5 minutes, trim it while the trimmer is out and the batteries are out. Does that make sense? Just trim everything I need to trim. So when I put the trimmer away, then it's just moving logs. All right, that's next. kind of. Trimming and then finish putting the bricks in place. Talk to you in a few. All right, nothing crazy. The first brick's got some wire, a wire circular around it, and the second brick's got a piece of wood on it. Again, it's enough to support that joint that's right there, so it doesn't unpop in a heavy deluge. And I got water eroding the hill versus running off into the ravine that runs off into the swell. So, and you know, there's not water in it right now. It's strictly for when the tank is full and overflowing. So that'll work for now. And if I don't think it does, then I'll come out and build something else. Today was not about building anything. It was just, I got the bricks, bring the bricks out here, do a little something, something. I got the screen off. I want to see how much water's in the tank from the rainstorm that happened up here yesterday while I was out at camp. Just, you know, see how full it is. All right, talk to you in a few. Yes, some days I'm brilliant. I opted to dump my entire bottle of water out in the cart. Got my bag wet, saved the electronics. You know, now I'm trying to let everything dry just a little before I move on. But I have several things to do, or have done. So the first thing I did was stop rot. I've talked about this before. It is a fast burst of calcium. So when you have something like this, and this is a squash, and this is what you call blossom end rot. You can see here where the blossom would be that it started rotting. And I went ahead and picked it off the fruit, off the vine, because the vine doesn't need to spend any time trying to grow this. It's never going to grow. It's going to rot on the vine. That's a calcium deficiency. Tomatoes do it, cucumbers do it, squashes do it, melons do it. Now this area where I put the squash, that makes sense. This is the first area that I've grown anything here this year. So it's not had the benefit of, you know, everything else the rest of the garden has had with me working on it and amending it and compost. And I mean, just this is its first year, so I expect to have problems. So that's why I do the stop rot. Again, not advertising for this company, you know, or the big box store that I got it at. It's just, it is because it's liquefied calcium. It does really well at giving them a fast dose of calcium really quick, and then I come back in with some bone meal for a long-term calcium. This little guy, these are fuzzy wuzzies. He didn't want to visit me, but I want him to visit me. So if you look at him, he's got sections, and normally the more orange you have, the colder winter is supposed to be. And I don't see any orange on him at all, just dots. Now we're also very early in the spring, so he might not have developed his orange yet. Anyway, just thought I'd show, because, you know, when you see one, they're awesome. All right, having said that, back to the squashes. That one is not having a problem. Does that make sense? The one that I pulled off came off of this vine, this long vine here, and each one of those are blossoms. You know, so it's one of those, they want to give me some fruit. That one's got a piece of fruit on it right there. You know, welcome to my winter squash. So, you know, they're here. There's another one doing well, and you notice that's what's left of his blossom, and he's still quite good right there. So hopefully I got out here in time, or at least found that one in time. And again, I've already given him the stop rot. It's a tablespoon for my 2-gallon jug, and just kind of water them, and it's fast calcium right where they need it. So anyway, I'm going to add bone meal next, because that will be a slow breakdown. And if I have to do stop rot again in about a week, I will. Most of that is just to make sure that these guys do well, you know, because this is the first year that's done. All right, anyway, let me stop rambling on about stop rot. I have something eating my elderberry flowers. Nope, that one's not been eaten. Hang on. Here you go. You can see the flowers are there. Yeah, nothing but stem right there. So something's eating my flowers. And what's crazy is you look out now, and you can see it here. Something's eating my flowers. There's nothing on here, so I'm not sure what it is. You know? I'm getting ready to fight somebody, though. Don't be messing with my elderberries. So that's something I'm going to have to pay attention to. Because, you know, That's almost completely gone. It should be like that, and it's not. It's been eaten. So, I don't see any worms. I'm gonna have to pay attention. All right, let me get on to the next task. Talk to you in a few. So this was not on today's list of things to do. I was trying to do the workshop thing and put stuff away so I can move on to the next task and get the garden stuff out of the workshop and into the garden shed. Panda got in here and started making a ruckus, knocking stuff down. She's like, Mom, there's a critter. The answer was there was 4. So where she's at right now, that's where they come in at. So yeah, what are we doing? I'm pulling everything out. I'm gonna get the broom. I'm gonna sweep out all the rodent crap. I'm gonna spray with peppermint. And then I'm gonna go get some of my foam seal and seal that back wall there. Because they've been chewing on everything. You know, and I have no idea if hantavirus is a thing here in Arkansas. It doesn't matter. I know what it is. I know rodents carry it, which also means that everything back here has to be washed off before I put it back in the garden shed. You know, and then take out things like plastic bags. Those have got to go. That's nesting material. You know, my white covers there that I use for like broccolis and stuff to keep the broccoli worms and stuff off. I'm going to have to put those in the workshop for right now. I don't have any critters in there. She says they're still in here. She's like, Mom, move the shelf. So anyway, this became the thing to do today. Panda and I'll talk to you in a few. All right. Panda got a mouse of 4. Woo! And we're clean again. I'm not sure how well you can see that because of the light. I can't see the screen. Anyway, we're clean again. I cleaned up everything. Put everything back away. Only stuff that's in here now is plastic. If it's not plastic, it's not in here. And I mean hard plastic. And then having said that, you can see there's a wasp up there right now. He just flew in, and he'll come back out because I've got peppermint oil sprayed in there, and they don't like peppermint oil. But what I did, just because I knew I was having all the wasps issues, you can see where they chewed through the foam that I had put there to try and keep them out. So this is one of the, for like a screen door, it's a plastic that goes across the bottom. And it didn't want to stick to the wood, so it has been screwed to the wood, and it sticks up. And it actually fits well, at least as far as I can tell, up against the foam on that side. So the goal there is hoping that when it's closed, I'll tell you what, let me get inside and close it. And that way you can see what I'm talking about. When it's closed, it's going to get dark. That makes sense. Well, you can see the light. That plastic is in the way. They can't get in. So I'm hoping that that resolves the issue of the, the fact that I open the door, I get attacked by wasps. Cardboard. Anything that was cardboard or paper, yeah, it's all going in the trash. So, let me, I need to get my container there. I need to get the trash in the, trash in that cart so I can get my sand thingy back in there and then go ahead and close this up and run the test. Yeah, and then for the rodents, I got there you go, that foam stuff. That's where they were coming in, right there in the middle. And Panda was even trying to dig at it because she could smell them there. All right, foamed it up. Let's see if we keep the rodents out, keep the wasps out. I hope so. Anyway, I didn't get anything else done that I thought I was going to do. Talk to you later.